everybody, and welcome to another episode of Too Weird Didn't Watch, the show where we make fun of movies based on nothing but their weird descriptions.
I'm Brantley.
I'm Albert. Brantley's going to read for us today. Brantley, what do you have?
First up, we have Indigenous from 2014.
Is this like a sequel to there was like several horror movies that started with not Invictus, although that was a movie that came around that time.
That's the only one I could think of, actually, when you said that.
No, Insidious.
No,
I know that it's not a sequel, but I mean, it's like Invictus, Insidious, and Indigenous.
Yeah, there's like 3 Insidious movies?
I think they're making a 4th one, too.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, 5 friends, Scott and his girlfriends, Steph, Elena, Trevor, and Charlie, meet in Panama for vacation.
I'm glad we got the names of all these people. They're like, just...
Look, we got 5 characters, you might as well learn their names.
I don't remember. You've just read them off. It's not like I'm only here for 5 minutes to read this review tops. Like, if I'm a real slow reader, my son could probably figure out how to read this review in 5 minutes, and you're going to be like, alright, now here's the names of all the people in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
While partying at night, Trevor meets the natives Carmen and Julio. It's 2 more for you.
This is just...
Keep these names straight, okay? Don't mix them up.
I like that they had to mention that they were partying at night. Like, these guys aren't some losers that party during the day. It wasn't just some kid's birthday party, alright? We partied at night! There was, like, alcohol and stuff.
There's, like, a kegger, but they're, like, really responsible about it, and then they, like, clean everything up. It's like, okay, everybody have a safe ride home. Make sure... Did you drink? We'll
Get an Uber!
Cab. But it's like, during the party, they're straight up like a kegger. But then it's like, okay, everybody clean up. You okay? Alright, we'll call you a cab. Don't worry. Just get some ice for your hangover you might have. Julio's a good guy like that. Scott becomes interested in exploring the Darien Gap, despite a number of people believing that a group of teenagers were murdered by a Chupacabra in the area.
Wait, the Darien Gap?
The Darien Gap.
Yeah,
not the store. So it's not the Gap in the town of Darien.
That was not the direction I was going with, but I'm sad that was not my first instinct to just go.
Don't go to the Gap. People die. Also, they're not great prices.
You paid $50 for a t-shirt there, man.
And then you lost Jimmy to the Chupacabra. It wasn't worth the trip.
Some say the Chupacabra still roams their back room.
Trying to find deals that will never come.
That's just their excuse for not... Like, do you have that in the back room? We might, but there's a Chupacabra. So I can't go check.
Life goals. Anyone out there, become manager of a Chupacabra just to have this joke happen. Thank you.
Just become manager of a Chupacabra, if you can do that.
You'll become more famous.
No, okay, but my initial point was going to be the Darien Gap. They just dropped it in there like, this is a real thing. Is this a real thing that I haven't heard of, Brantley?
I don't know, man.
I've got to Google the Darien Gap.
Okay.
Uno momento. I'll edit. I can edit, guys. I'm Googling the Darien Gap now. It's auto-completed to Darien Gap. I'm clicking on Darien Gap. Darien Gap.
The fact that it auto-completed kind of implies it's realish. Ish.
Either this is a very nice theme gap or it is a real thing. The Darien Gap is a break in the Pan-American Highway consisting of a large swath of underdeveloped swampland and forest within.
Okay.
I didn't know there was a Pan-American Highway. So it shows how smart I am. Yeah, it's right there by the Gulf of Darien.
So he wants to explore it, despite a number of people believing that a group of teenagers were murdered by Chupacabra in the area. It's not confirmed. They disappear and everybody's like, Chupacabra.
I would be skeptical.
No other logical explanation. Or it's some dumb teenagers in swampland. Chupacabra. But he lives in the desert. Chupacabra.
Oh, interesting. It was only... The first traverse of it was in 1924.
Because of all those Chupacabras.
Yeah, no, it seems pretty... Like, Jeep did one in 1960, but it seems like it's pretty difficult to get across. I'm interested now.
So, yeah.
Let's hike.
Including Julio, who warns the group away from going.
This is Julio, right? I'm attached to Julio now.
Yeah, Scott's the one who wants to go, and Julio's like, it's a bad call.
What about Marcia, though? What's she doing?
Well, considering she's not one of the characters...
Dang nabbit!
Literally nothing.
I took a shot in the dark and I missed.
Want to try again? You have 4 other characters you can guess for.
George!
5, actually. No.
Oh, I thought there was a George.
No. There's a Steph.
What?
There's a Steph.
Okay, Steph. What about Steph? Boy, it didn't work.
However, Carmen tells the group of a beautiful waterfall deep in the jungle and convinces them to hike there.
You could go other places to see waterfalls that aren't infested by teen-killing chupacabras.
But it's beautiful. Also, I'm not a teen. I feel safe going there.
That's fair. Yeah, all these movies either.
I want to see the movie where it's like the killer literally just goes after teens. There's like people like out. There's like some 20-year-old out there camping. And just like, hey Jeff. I'm like, yeah, they went that way by the cabins. You want a hot dog? I gotta get you later, bud.
There's like a guy who's 19, and like it's his birthday, and the killer's like, raw, and it turns midnight. He's like, zoop, and turns around and goes.
just like immediately his about faces and marches on and goes like, yay?
What?
What just happened? Again, make this movie.
It does irritate me. This I definitely mentioned in the past, but come on, any group other than teens or early 20-somethings is what I want to see in horror movies. Not all horror movies that have these groups are bad, but like if you just had some geriatrics in your horror movie, that would be
have you seen,
point number one.
Have you seen the first episode of Terra Nova, the pilot?
No.
That was part of my complaint, because they go back, they're in the colony back in dinosaur times that they set up from the future, basic premise. And the older son, he goes off and he meets this group of teens, like, I'm this, that, I'm like, I know this scene. I hate this scene. And it's like, we're going to go outside the fence. Like, oh, it's the slasher movie setup scene. This is why I hate this scene.
Yep.
And then, hey, dinosaur attacks. With a tail that has a blade, and they call it slashers.
This is why Candyman's the best horror movie of all time.
The following morning, Julio realizes that Carmen has taken the group into the jungle despite his warnings. And sets off to find them. Julio to the rescue!
It's like, dang nabbit!
Carmen! Stop taking teenagers to the waterfall. There's Chupacabras.
My name's Julio.
You're just attached to that one name.
I'm
Meanwhile, the group hike far into the jungle to reach the waterfall. After some time, Carmen disappears. Ooh.
I mean, I have real solid money on her going off to have sex with somebody else in the group.
The group attempts phoning her, but find her phone smashed nearby before losing service.
Could they not have just had them lose service? Like, is it canonical that... I mean, this is a pretty remote area. I've actually lost cell phone service. I realize that, like, horror movies have to
work around
get rid of cell phones these days. But they are out in the boonies.
They're in the jungle.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they hike there, so maybe they haven't gone that far, but it seems like...
It's the following morning, and they... Considering Julio... They may have left that night.
Yeah, I would accept that they just, like, couldn't get a hold of her. But I guess the finding of the smashed cell phones is like a boom, boom, boom moment.
Leaving them stranded in the jungle. Not really.
Why?
They hiked.
Yeah, just go back.
What do we do? Walk.
Yeah, you're not...
Like how you got here?
We can't check Twitter!
It doesn't mention a boat ride anywhere in here.
Yeah.
Like, if it mentioned that and, like, the boat sank or something, they're trying to haul... Like, they're on an island in the lake or something. And there's,
right.
Caimans or something, or... Anacondas or pythons, I think.
No, but they're in Central America. Like, this is part of the continent. There's nowhere to boat. I mean, maybe there's a river or something.
They might be, like, on a fairly large lake.
This is a fairly narrow peninsula, though. Not super narrow, but I'm saying, like, it's a really mountainous region. I don't think there's going to be a large body of water in there.
Maybe.
I'm just making this up, Brantley. I'm not a geographer.
As night falls, the group realize that they are being stalked.
It's Steve from accounting.
It is yet to confirm that there's actually Chupacabras in this movie.
He keeps texting
it's
the
just
one
Julio
girl.
trying to catch up. But
They
hear him in the woods and it's like, it's the Chupacabra! And they just panic and run and they can't hear him saying, guys, it's Julio! Come back!
I'm having more fun with the literal definition of stalker. It's
just a really creepy dude.
It's like, hey, you got a boyfriend? Like, shut up, dude! Do you understand how creepy you're being?
Alright. That's it for that one.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
Up next we have Chupacabra Territory.
Are we doing a Chupacabra theme episode?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm on board.
Chupacabra Territory is a, wait for it, found footage movie. Comedy horror set in the pine forest somewhere in America.
Wait.
Have you seen this?
No, but I just, like, the intersection of found footage and comedy and horror is, like, it makes
Worst
me a
case
little bit
scenario?
sick. I'm just, like, I don't know if it's the monster that I drank just hitting me wrong or the fact that this is the worst idea I've ever heard.
It is a story.
This is my idea. That's like, people hear about monster trucks, alright? They see the trailer for monster trucks and I'm like, this is a stupid idea. And I see the trailer for monster truck and I'm like, this is the best idea ever. There's monsters inside the trucks. It's awesome. They're like alien things from under the earth and then they're in the trucks and the trucks are awesome. That's a great movie. And I watched it and I loved it, okay? Me and my kid went and saw monster trucks. Love monster trucks. This is a legitimately bad idea. Comedy, horror, found footage. Unless they're constantly riffing on the fact that it does not make sense that they're still filming. I would forgive some of that.
Like they, or they could like take the cameras and it's like wired into like their vest or something.
Yeah, and like
they can't shut them off for whatever reason. It's like, this is stupid. Who would make it this way? This is such an asinine reason to have the camera still going.
The cameras like are constantly falling ridiculous heights. Like, how did it survive this? These GoPros are amazing.
They're like chucking him off a cliff. Now go get it, Steve! You got it! Ned lived! It is a story about 4 unfortunate campers.
What are their names?
Who find themselves in a life-threatening situation.
I need to know these guys' names.
After they stumble upon the infamous Chupacabra. Alright, you want some names?
Oh,
Joe is a sex-starved average guy. He has never been camping.
I hate this guy so much.
After telling Amber his object of desire and an amateur cryptozoologist, which means that
they're all amateurs. Nobody's getting paid to be a cryptozoologist.
Josh Gates is. He had a show on Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh,
the man's an actor. That after telling her that he has had led several expeditions in search of the Chupacabra, she pleads with him to take her into the woods. Knowing well that this will be a good chance for him to get into Amber's pants, Joe must research the Chupacabra and become a competent outdoor guide to play out the charade.
He doesn't want to have sex with her, he's just really interested in her pants.
Yeah. And those chinos, those are good.
Oh my goodness. Look, they got those little bejeweled things on the back pocket. I need to wear that now.
After all his gear is acquired, he hires Dave, an amateur cameraman, to film their adventure.
Is he hiring Dave to make a sex tape?
Well, I mean, to sell the whole we're hunting for the Chupacabra thing. But maybe,
right,
on the low key.
It's like, no, if some hanky-panky happens, this might not be a repeated option for me, so I need to have a record, if you know what I mean, Dave.
Amber brings her...
I know it's going to be awkward because I do plan to be having sex with her while wearing her pants.
I have a very specific set of fetishes.
I just imagine Liam Neeson saying, I have a very specific set of fetishes. It was the best.
I will find you. I will show you. If you don't give me my daughter back, he's just going to grape him out. Like, Liam, no!
It involves balloon animals.
Have you seen the My Little Pony show? You ain't seen nothing yet. Seriously, people, seek help. Not trying to shame you, but serious, they're cartoon animals. Okay. Anyways, Amber brings her metrosexual friend Morgan along for support, much to Joe's chagrin. Chagrin. I don't know how to pronounce that word.
I love you for saying it that way.
His chagrin. The 4 of them head into the woods with a ton of gear and little experience.
Well, the first experience point would be, don't bring 2,000 pounds of gear with your camping trip.
Who thought was going to need to build the trailer? Joe, you're an idiot. After Joe violates several of the, and this is all capitalized and in quotes, code of camping survival rules, their search for the Chupacabra make a turn for the worst.
Brantley, what are you doing?
Hey, what's going on, bud?
I'm not Dorman. Hey, Wendy.
It's windy. Can you leave the room, please? We're working. I love you.
Weather update, courtesy of Jack Burr.
It's not storming, but it's windy. Recording this on the eve of Hurricane Nate, by the way.
Yeah.
So if we survive, you know we made it. If this episode gets
we
posted,
followed the code of camping survival rules.
This is something that's in universe, right? Like they keep flashing to the code of camping survival rules
every time he makes a dumb decision. It's like, nah, you can just throw some dirt on the campfire. Just
no, you can't.
It's like superimposed images of Smokey Bear frowning.
And then you cut to like, is it Dave is the cameraman?
Yeah.
Dave like editing it in Premiere Pro, typing up, no, you can't.
This is a bad idea. We get yelled at a lot by the I don't know, people.
park ranger.
That one.
They're just at like a state park. I've led lots of Chupacabras.
I was going for that when I first said people. I just imagined some dude who's really into forest safety just ranting at them. He's like, "You cannot do this. You have to drown the fire, stir it, and drown it again. What is wrong with you, sir? I've done this a lot." Trying to wink and like subtly, and Amber is like, "No, clearly you haven't, son." Anyways, Joe's continuingly poor judgment leads the characters into a mess of Chupacabra activity and ultimately their deaths. Spoilers.
Spoilers. Also, how did they get the tapes out? Who edited this?
That's always the question.
Oh! We need a found footage movie about somebody editing a found footage movie. Or no, it's not found footage. Forget that, because found footage sucks.
That's kind of It Watches.
I haven't seen that one.
That's the Slenderman movie.
Are you always watching?
That one, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he's piecing together the old tapes and
he's like becoming obsessed with it as well, and then we see the tapes as they're happening.
Mm-hmm.
If it was... Okay, but here's how you do that. You have the guy like, why are they still filming? Like he's just sitting at his desk.
I mean, with always watching, it made sense.
And then...
It was the only way to see the thing, and then the one time they stopped filming, bad things happened. Not to spoil the movie, that's a good movie, watch it.
Yeah, it's fine. Also, there's the, like, what ends up on the cutting room floor of the found footage movie where he's like... And then they had like about 5 hours of them driving that they filmed for some reason. I am going to cut that.
And
there's some chit-chat between Nate and Amber, though, that is pretty indicative that their relationship is evolving. Just could not make that fit thematically into the film.
After Dave goes missing, the adventure turns into a rescue mission. We already know the ending. He gave it away.
What? That's not the end of the description?
There's more in the description. There's like 2 sentences left. But not before they stumble onto the lair of the Chupacabra and Dave's dead body. So it turned into a rescue mission after that? Dave is the only one missing, and we know everybody dies.
Well, I thought you said Amber went or
no,
the girl.
It's Dave. Cameraman. The cameraman's missing. Who was filming?
Yeah, who's making this found footage movie at this point?
Now, deep in the woods at night, the remaining characters must hold their ground against the Chupacabra and stay alive until morning, which we already know they don't manage.
A lot of stuff really interesting, I think, happens in this part of the movie, but because it's nighttime and they didn't have flashlights,
also,
it's
Dave had the camera.
basically unusable footage.
No, Dave has the cameras. You just hear them way off in the woods screaming about things. Oh my god, it's so scary! It's chasing me! It scratched my leg!
I mean, it is
Amber, run! It's right behind you! But it's like muffled. It's like, Amber!
It is a comedy, to be fair.
Fair enough. It's like the Scooby-Doo chase scenes.
Yeah.
It's just the camera's like pointing out the cave, and you just like occasionally see somebody run by in the background. Chupacabra just like running, stumbles, and
Guardians
gets
of the
back.
Galaxy 2.
Alright.
Seen that yet?
No.
Okay.
That's the only Marvel movie I haven't seen other than Spider-Man.
I really liked it.
Alright, and last we have Bloodthirst 2, Revenge of the Chupacabras.
Oh no! What happened to Bloodthirst 1?
I could not find Bloodthirst 1. Bloodthirst 2, Revenge of the Chupacabras. Detective Steve Andrews, gotta get those names in. I guess that's the running
He
joke
has
of this
like the
episode.
last... Yeah, he also has a last name. We're really getting into it.
Is investigating the disappearance of a pretty college co-ed when he gets a call that an
Oh,
inmate...
good. I was worried. This person disappeared, and I was like, am I going to care about them? But now that I know that it's a girl and she's hot, now I care, apparently.
Okay, you do you, man. When he gets a call that an inmate at the Haggerty Psychiatric Hospital might know something about the case.
Why?
He get a call.
I know, but...
He has no leads, I guess.
I guess. Just goes to the psychiatric hospital and...
Maybe the guy's a new inmate?
Maybe, but like, if
Maybe she's been missing for like a year?
You gotta be, like, really stretching to be like, I've got a call from a crazy person who says he knows something about your missing hot girl.
Or maybe he's ranting about things that seem similar and she's like been on the news.
Or he knows details that they couldn't possibly know.
Also,
Bum. Okay, I'll go with that.
It is plausible. It's not the most ridiculous thing in the movie called Bloodthirst 2, Revenge of the Chupacabras.
Fine, yes, okay.
The inmate, Charles Parker, has been telling the strange story of a vicious vampire-like beast called the Chupacabras.
We understand what Chupacabras are.
Well, you see, they're vicious and they're vampire-like and they're beasts. Got all that?
But they're called Chupacabras.
Yes.
So we know.
They're vampire-like in the aspect that they drink blood.
Yes, I do get that.
Nothing else in common with vampires except a vague, bat-like appearance. Which, I want a movie that is like Chupacabras are just like really large vampire bats that have lost the ability to fly because they're too big. Because that is, quote unquote, scientifically plausible.
Okay.
They're just like massive herbivores. Anyways, sorry. That he claims he trapped in a nearby mine and destroyed after it had savagely killed a number of the local citizenry.
And this is related to the
Also, this is
disappearance
not
of
on
our
record
sexy
of all these
co-ed.
people being killed and drained of blood, and then a mine was destroyed. He's like, I did that. And like, No. That was like typhoid.
Okay.
That doesn't make any. You're crazy. That's what you're in the insane asylum. Among the missing, a girl who matches the description of the college co-ed. How long has he been in the asylum?
Yeah, give me the timeline again. How long ago did he do the thing?
It doesn't say. It's
Okay.
just a Chupacabras were killing a bunch of the locals. Okay?
Where he lived.
Which is citizenry, so locals, yeah. And then
I
he
would
trapped
assume it's not in L.A. or something.
Yeah, I mean...
Probably Chupacabras are going to be like in the outlying areas of the world.
They've been seen, quote unquote, in Texas. Those are the weird dogs.
There's also a lot of like desert in Texas.
Yeah.
They weren't seen in the middle of Houston.
That would also make an awesome movie.
Well, yeah. But they weren't.
No, but yeah. No, like, I want my giant bat Chupacabras, like, bounding from rooftop to rooftop in Houston.
Oh, it's like Spring Hill Jack, too. They can have, like, hooves or something. Because Spring Hill Jack has hooves. Just, like, thrown in.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I
I got derailed.
So, yeah, he killed it. After he trapped in a mine and destroyed it. Or the mine. He might destroy the mine. And then one of the missing people that it killed was the co-ed? Before Andrew can talk to him, however, the inmate escapes, leading the detective into a maze of horror and the realization that he must find the missing girl before time runs out.
Wait, so she's still alive?
Maybe? Like, I'm thinking from his perspective, this is a crazy dude who was, like, killing people.
Oh, okay.
And has her trapped. So he's thinking, like, I gotta find this girl before he does anything. That's why he escaped. Whereas the dude's like, I gotta make sure Chupacabras dead or more people are gonna die. So he's basically Dr. Loomis if they locked him up for ranting about how Michael Myers was the Antichrist.
Okay.
And he's like, I have to kill him. It's like, or we could lock him up and try to rehabilitate him. He has to die. Loomis is super crazy. It's great.
I don't know anything about those movies, so I can't comment.
Halloween, yeah, no. Like, one of his first scenes is he's standing... I think this is the remake. I can't remember which one they were, but he's standing in front of, like, a projector.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got, like, young Michael Myers' face, and he goes, these eyes, they're dead eyes. The devil's eyes. Like, you're a psychologist.
What is this? Like, that's not a scientific opinion. That may be true, but it's not, like scientifically plausible.
Again, in one of them, I can't remember which one. It's in one of them, but he's like, he gets picked up by a priest who's like ranting about evil and stuff, but he's also like drunk driving. This priest. He's like getting really into it, and he's like, have you ever seen evil? And he goes, I believe I have. Like, how'd you find your soulmate on the road, Loomis?
I did find our prequel here. Not a prequel, but like the first movie.
Alright, cool.
What was the name of that one, by the way?
Bloodthirst 2, Revenge of the Chupacabras.
Okay, the first one's called Bloodthirst, Legend of the Chupacabras. It came out in 2003. It was, direct-to-DVD video type of thing.
Okay.
There is either a summary, which is one sentence long, or a synopsis, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 paragraphs long. They're not short paragraphs. I guess we're going to be going with the sentence, which is, a supposed treasure map leads a group of unsuspecting townspeople to the lair of a vampire-like creature known as El Chupacabras.
Horrible Spanish. Of all the ways that sentence could have started, was not prepared for treasure map. But I'm down with the treasure map.
I like that setup. The idea that, like
it's been somehow locked away.
Yeah.
And, like, it was a warning map, kind of like Alien.
Like, don't go here, and they're like...
here be dragons, and everybody's like, I wonder what's there.
They mistranslate the word dragons.
Yeah.
They're like,
dragons meaning gold.
Yeah, they're like, oh, see, this is a code word because dragons would hide gold in all the old legends, and that they're, like, actually hiding the gold there. And, like, the original dude was like, no, it's a real dragon!
It's a dragon,
guys! Legitimately a dragon!
It's like, straight up, 8 maidens! I locked it away!
Breathe fire! Don't go! Well, that's going to do it for us for this week on Too Weird Didn't Watch. Thanks so much for listening. If you like the episode, you should tell your friends about it. You should go on Patreon, on patreon.com/TooWeirdDidn'tWatch, and support us there. We drop an episode about once a month for Patreon supporters, and available exclusively to you. I can't say those words out. And last of all, if you are looking to help us out, leave us a review on iTunes. It helps us a lot.
Bye, guys.
Bye.